Shalom, call Salaki, Happy Hanukkah. Call Allah Yahweh Shemiel Shabbat Shabbat Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone, even the elders that came before them taught us is true. Shalom, happy Hanukkah to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and sincerity, the hopeful tabernacle of David. My brother elder Yashawan Shalom and salutations to you all. Happy Hanukkah. This is WW3 Daily Update, and today is War and Rumors of War Tuesday. So we'll go right here to Matthew 24 and 6 and read this famous phrase here. Read it in its entirety. Matthew 24 and 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Then we go inside here. We read the NIV. And we see that it's the same wars and rumors of war. In LT is slightly different. We got threats, rumors and threats. Right down here we got more news. Rumors, threats, news of battles far away. And down here we got reports. We got rumors, threats, news of battles and reports of battles. My report go. Aramaic. Reports of wars. All right. Take it away. Who? Mahmoud. We're going to let Mahmoud OD. It's kind of like Mahmoud OG. Trump blames Netanyahu. He said, she said. Rumors. Look at all these. Netanyahu following assassination. What is that? CK? Charlie? CK Kirk? Take it away, Mahmoud. We're going to let him talk for a minute and establish some rumors on the rumor mill. Go!
The American president is mad at Benjamin Netanyahu and a message sent from the White House to Israel concerning the assassination of a Hamas figure in Gaza in what is viewed as a breach of the ceasefire agreement. Now Trump is looking into whether Israel violated the ceasefire, and the White House also issued an angry message to Israel over the killing of a Hamas commander. Donald Trump said that Netanyahu is derailing my deal because he is viewing the deal in Gaza as his deal. And he is mad at Benjamin Netanyahu and his attempts to derail it or completely collapse the deal. Is Donald Trump serious about what he's saying? Is the White House serious? And what's the truth behind this story? Well, let's begin with who did Israel kill? They killed a man called Ra'id Saad. Ra'id Saad is considered to be a senior figure in the Al-Qassam brigades. According to the ceasefire agreement, Israel cannot target any Palestinian leader, either in the military arm or in the political arm of Hamas, but they have during the ceasefire agreement. He also happens to be the son of refugees who were expelled from their home.
That is a rumor if I've ever heard one.
The village of Hamama near the Asqalan district in 1948. Not surprising, is it? Most of the Palestinian resistance.
Can these rumors be substantiated?
Members and leaders, if not all of them, come from families of people who were displaced, forcibly displaced and expelled from their homes in 1948. Many of them witnessed.
And they covet fields and take them by force. Even a man in his heritage in his home.
Because their parents or their grandparents, and they were forcibly expelled, and many of their relatives were killed way before this genocide began, way before 2023. And also, many of these people who constantly stand up against Israel.
Fair use. Not getting paid.
And join the armed groups in Gaza already faced all of these catastrophes from Israel. Therefore, they chose the path of struggle against Israel, seeing as the Israeli occupation never allowed them back to their homes. But
And what are we talking about right now? Here, I'll sum it up for you real quick. World War III.
Israel constantly claims, of course, that these people attack us for no reason and they just don't want us here. And not that they were there before them, they were forcibly expelled. And people like him, they were born in a refugee camp in the 70s in Gaza. This context is significant and very important because many people wouldn't talk to you about the background and who these people are. But we need to understand who these people are to understand why we reached the situation where we are at the moment. Now, the statement has indeed been made. There was a statement issued by the White House. There were reports from Axios and others as well that Trump indeed said a few things against the assassination of Israel, supposedly without coordination from the United States this time, because there's a United States Central Command in the occupied territories, and Israel is supposed to
throw it as hard as you want. Go on.
Central Command, is that like AFRICOM? Is that like Mideasticom? What are we gonna do? We gonna let a little more play? Let me see. Trying to wiggle out of this. Let's see. I hate commercials.
to share all of the information with them. But this apparently didn't happen. That's
Apparently,
why
maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Sounds like a
Israel
rumor to me, right? The rumor mill.
did it, and the United States, of course, had this response. So, what's happening in the background? We're talking about now, they're talking about phase two. The United States had a meeting with a
Phase two of what? Peace in the Middle East? No peace but a sword. Peace and safety, sudden destruction.
approximately 50 countries in Qatar, a closed meeting, a secret meeting, where they were speaking with countries that would potentially participate in the International Stabilization Force in Gaza. There were vehicles being viewed and preparations to go into Gaza from the Rafah area of International Stabilization Forces without really mentioning the names of the countries, the participating countries, or anything as such. And the United States is clearly finalizing some talks, but some countries have indeed agreed on this situation. Now, mind you, Trump, he might actually have a different opinion to Benjamin Netanyahu in relation to this because the United States administration also has differences with Israel that relate to other parts of the region too, like Syria, like other parts as well. And Benjamin Netanyahu has other plans. But Netanyahu is doing this to try and create new rules of engagement between him and the Palestinian side after they enter into phase.
That is a rumor. Right? What is that?
Two. Why? Because every agreement will have certain measures and restrictions to do with assassinations, for example, or strikes or killings, whatever it is. And after previous ceasefires in Gaza, the military wing of the Hamas movement, for example, or other Palestinian armed groups, they had training and Israel didn't strike them. Why? Because the agreement said they can't strike them. So Israel knows that very well, but they're trying to create a new equation, and Netanyahu is trying to force this equation. Meanwhile, the Palestinian side is resisting it, and they're clarifying that, first and foremost, no senior figure is leaving Gaza, whether from the armed resistance or from the political side. Not going to happen. Secondly, Israel itself is understanding that Hamas is not going to be disarmed. They're having more and more reports in Israel about the fact that Hamas's disarmament is clearly not on the table in relation to the International Stabilization Force. And they are also highlighting talks of Hamas and the Palestinian side with the American side too, which means that the entry of phase two is definitely going to include certain restrictions on Israel that Israel isn't happy with. Israel doesn't want the International Stabilization Force to be just this group that separates Israel from the Palestinians. They've now confirmed multiple times in Israel that clearly they're just going to have a border force there that's going to begin in Rafah, and they're not going to go into territories that are controlled by the Palestinian resistance. They're going to be on the border areas. Israel's going to have to withdraw from these areas, which would allow the Palestinian resistance to be present everywhere in Gaza. That looks awful on Israel, but this is where things are going to, and there where things are headed. No Palestinian resistance leader is going to leave the Gaza Strip. The rebuilding process is going to go ahead. Israel's going to have to pay for clearing all of the rubble. All of that is not really something that Israel is happy about, but they are forced into it. So Netanyahu, with these attacks, is trying to create an equation and tell everyone, including the American side, that no matter what the agreement is, I will be doing what I want to do. And the question remains, how will the United States administration deal with this? Will they allow Israel to continue the breaches, or will they finally have a solid agreement with the Israelis to completely stop any attack as they enter phase 2 of the agreement in Gaza?
All right. I'll let it play through. Lot of, let's read through this again. Lot of rumor there. Let's see. Matthew 24 and 6 in the NLT, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but they won't follow immediately. So, threats, yeah. Rumors, yeah. Yeah, Mahmoud, I don't know. Kind of put me to sleep on that one. Anyway, with that, shalom to the elect. Shalom.